The U.S. is divided into 50 unique states, but not all of them are beloved. Some states seem to rub people the wrong way, whether it's residents, neighbors, or the rest of the country. So let's stir the pot and count down the top 10 most disliked states in America based on surveys, stats, and social media outcries. We'll explore surprising rivalries and why certain states trigger animosity or disdain coast to coast. Just don't shoot the messenger. We're just reporting which states leave people fuming. This lighthearted list is meant in jest, because in the end, we're all part of one big dysfunctional American family. So buckle up for some amusing state-on-state shade as we reveal America's least loved locales. Number 10, Kentucky. At number 10 lies Kentucky, dissed by outsiders but disliked even more by its own residents. A survey showed a whopping 6% of Kentuckians think their state is the worst to live in. Yet residents aren't fleeing, with barely any population loss last year. So why the Bluegrass Blues? Some complain Kentucky is boring with no professional sports teams or big tourist sites beyond horses. Others criticize its lagging health and education stats. But not everyone hates on Kentucky. Its beautiful landscapes and small-town charms still captivate many. Just don't mention rival basketball teams unless you're itching for a fight. Number 9, Connecticut. Time to bag on the Constitution state at number 9, Connecticut. Though no other states hate on CT, over 17% of nutmeggers report it's America's worst state. That's the highest percentage in the nation. Why such self-loathing? Long winters with dreary weather drag people down. And even though it's one of America's wealthiest states, residents pay astronomical taxes with little benefit. Connecticut's government is also a hopeless bureaucratic mess. But beyond winter misery and tax burdens, Connecticut offers undeniable beauty. Rolling forests, charming towns, and island hopping along the coast help residents tolerate the negatives, even if they still think their state sucks. Number 8, Mississippi. The first southern state to make the list is Mississippi at number 8. The Magnolia State is America's poorest, with woeful education and infrastructure. That may explain why it's the most federally dependent, taking far more funding than paying in taxes. And those dismal socioeconomics fuel stereotypes of Mississippi being backwards. But the hospitality and pace of life still captivate many residents. And the buzzing culture of cities like Jackson combined with soulful Delta blues heritage help counter the outdated perceptions. Just don't expect outsiders to show Mississippi much love. Number 7, Michigan. Don't mess with Michigan, or so we thought. But America's glove-shaped state snags the number 7 spot for being unloved. Nearly 1 in 10 Michiganders call their state the worst place to live. Michigan's reputation took a battering after the decline of Detroit and the automotive industry. Frozen winters that stretch from November to April don't help either. Nor do the potholed roads that seem to replicate themselves. Yet Michigan is trying hard to restore its glory, and most residents stay loyal. With thousands of lakes, quaint small towns, and a scenic up-north wilderness, there's still lots to love. Even if Michiganders like complaining about their state more. Number 6, Massachusetts. Dropping down to number 6, we find Massachusetts catching shade as a snobby, elitist state, even from its own residents. A 2015 poll showed 6% of massholes view their state as the nation's worst. That historic Bostonian pride has morphed into a superiority complex in the eyes of many. And who can afford to live there anymore with insane home prices? The horrendous traffic and road rage don't help either. But not everything is wicked bad in Massachusetts. Progressive politics and thriving biotech and education sectors still give it clout. And cranberry bogs, Cape Cod sands, and bucolic New England towns offer pastoral relaxation. Even snobs need serenity. Number 5, California. Step aside, Massachusetts. California is even more conceited according to the rest of America. The Golden State grabs the number 5 most detested spot, despite its endless sunshine and beauty. A survey found 9 other states peg California as the worst state, resenting its swagger and politics. They think Californians are smug health nuts driving up avocado prices for the rest of us. The Cali Exit Secession movement also rallied hatred. Meanwhile, many Californians admit quality of life is tanking. A poll showed 6% believe their state is the national worst, between unaffordable housing, grinding traffic, taxes, and more. But hey, at least the hating is mutual. Number 4, West Virginia. Winding through the mountains at number 4 is West Virginia. Disliked by outsiders, but absolutely despised by its own people. It has America's third highest population loss, with folks fleeing the state in droves. With a poverty rate of 16%, West Virginians are literally trying to escape poverty. The coal industry collapse has left the economy and infrastructure in shambles. But the real issue, there's simply no decent paying jobs or opportunity. So, while the people are proud, the state's prospects seem bleak. No wonder over 12% of residents call West Virginia the worst place to live. Football and gorgeous gorges help ease the misery, but long-term hopes still seem cloudy in the mountain state. Number 3, New York. Shuffling down to third most loathed is New York. The Empire State faces hatred from every direction. 12% of New Yorkers can't stand their own state, while outsiders unload even more scorn. Starting within, years of political corruption and bureaucratic dysfunction have left residents feeling taxed, harassed, and helpless. And whatever charm existed has been trampled into annoyed jadedness within the grind of urban living. Outside New York, 12 other states reported hating on the state the most. Between the arrogant Big Apple attitude and never-ending urban versus rural culture wars, New York just rubs people the wrong way, even its own beleaguered residents. Number 2, New Jersey. Taking the silver for most despised state is New Jersey. 5 fellow states reported hating on the Garden State, which makes sense with a punchable map location right between rivals New York and Philadelphia. But Jersey residents dislike their own state even more, with 10% reporting it's the national worst. If Snooki and spray tans defined your home, you'd be mad too. And Jersey ain't getting any cheaper. Housing costs are pounding the middle class. Still, Jersey files cling to the state's underrated beauty, from the Jersey Shore to the Delaware Water Gap. Plus, just being stuck in the crossfire between New York and Philly creates an inherent grittiness residents admire. Jersey may be the butt of jokes, but its people are as unapologetic as the state is unafraid to get ugly. And now, the most hated state in America is... Number 1, Illinois. Suffering through the top spot is Illinois. The data shows a quarter of Illinois residents, yes, 25%, report their state is the worst in the entire nation. No other state even comes close to that level of self-loathing. When your own citizens despise where they live so intensely, it's no shock Illinois claimed the crown of America's most hated state. Residents are utterly fed up with political corruption in Chicago and Springfield. Jobs are leaving, violence is rising, and taxes are backbreaking. But being situated in the disjointed middle of the country doesn't help. There's no clear identity in Illinois like coastal East Coast states or Wild West frontier states, and winter drags on agonizingly. No wonder Illinoisans are desperate to pack their bags and flee. Well, there you have it, the top 10 most hated on states that rub Americans the wrong way. Of course, anywhere you go has its positives and negatives, but some states do seem to draw more snark and scorn than love. Let us know your pick for the most unlovable state and why you dislike it. Just remember, at the end of the day, we're all part of the same crazy US family. Hit subscribe for more state superlatives, even if your state came up short.